So, you wanted to show me something, right? Should we be doing this now while we're having the discussion?
Do we have other time for it set aside, Lothrin? Look, no, we don't need the shard. See, I found a few codexes written by a select set of archivists exploring a place called the Kinzak Bachi or something close to that. And here, you can see there was a functioning society of machines that build themselves and each other. Oh, it's very spicy. It works in many ways like our game Foundry, which is weird a little bit, like how close it is.
Let me see that. Here, I'll just look at it. They have a limited safe zone. Central factory reconstitutes many of the functioning drones. Contrary to what we previously thought, these metal drones are not free from the forces of strife, choice, independent thought, and commerce. This is absolutely fantastic, young Korvoth. How many ciphers did you have to break to get access to this data?
Well, the number in the book is about 4,000, but I didn't have to do that. I figured out a workaround. You know how you have more access to the book than I do? Hmm?
Yeah, I'm aware of that fact, yes. Please continue.
Well, I examined why that is. The book treats me as your subordinate. It asks you to encode more missives and transcripts with better and more complex ciphers. So I looked through the Foundry type stories the way you suggested before, and I sought out the person with the most missives sent to and encoded by them personally. And that's most likely the leader from this particular expedition, so he acts a lot like you would.
Very clever of you, my growing worm. That can't be all of it, though. There had to be more to this sort of discovery, this amount of data.
There was very perceptive of you, Lothran, as always. You see, I had to figure out which ciphers were part of that archivist's command missive codes, so I looked for the shortest messages out of all of them.
Why the shortest ones?
I just followed my examples that I have to me, that's you. So, when you encode notes for the Jackal leadership, even though I can't read them or nothing, you keep them as short as possible, with only the absolute bare minimum of information contained within. I figured an archivist in charge of all these notes and logs and messages would do the same, since that's what you are. 'Cause they don't have the time to write epic letters and all that garbage. They're very busy with all the information they gotta pour over all day. Mm-hmm. And that's what helped me out.
I'm raising quite the mind hacker of a little worm here.
Yep, you are. That's true. So then, I isolated the 5 most often codes used in this style. The book would need them to recognize me as someone that has the intellect required to view this data, because it's based off food technology. Even though I'm not the right person, as long as I can figure things out fast enough and with few enough tries, the book will grant me the access I require. But it was difficult. But I got real lucky for 3 of them. A lot of the messages that were short but similar used the same basic lettering system and were just variations of the same initial code. And that was nice. That was real nice. The last 2, however, that pile of paper over there was me brute forcing the first one, because you can't really brute force it in the book. You have to do it aside of it. You have to do 1 try and then get it right, or like 2 or 3 tries for each one. No, but I'll just keep going. Not recommended. That took forever. The last one I set up a story in the book meant to repeat itself with various cracks already stored within the tome, so if it played the correct message or something that sounded correct, I could put that aside and compare it to others. And then, something in my throat. Okay, while I let that run on repeat, I tried to implement letter replacements into the last code to get, better messages out of it, to make more sense. And then through the book's brute force and my own, then I managed to get like a whole hour of sleep last night. It was pretty tough, but I liked it.
Okay, take a few breaths, calm down. You didn't need to spew it all out at once like that, alright? Yeah. No, slower. Take slower breaths. Good. Okay. So what you're really saying is, I should be mad and make you go right to bed.
What? No, no! You should be happy I got access to all this data. You shouldn't. You should be. I did it. You don't have to do it.
What will you use this information for?
I don't know. There's so much. I can't go through it all on my own.
This makes sense. This is why you told me you hadn't really gone through more than the first few messages. You need help with all of this, and you know you couldn't possibly hope to ever get it done on your own.
Yep. You see right through me, Lothran. Like I'm invisible or something.
How about this? We go through this a little in our spare time until we're finished with the tribute, which we're kind of almost done to. Then we switch over to a more regular pattern of stories. I was going to go with one a day all week, and then Saturday a discussion of the stories from the week, and Sunday we could rest. But instead of resting, we release Foundry updates and gameplay and this data we've poured through together on Sunday. How's that for a substitution?
Oh, that sounds excellent. Can I be in charge of Sunday's release?
Of course, this is your project after all. You all set? Okay, we've got too much work to do. I know we haven't talked about the story really, but it's not that important to talk about every last one of them. And I think there's a fellow beside me that requires a nap, and I need to finish today's work on my own.
But, Lothran, I can still help you.
No buts. You get in your bed and you go to sleep. Good night, everyone. Stay safe out there.